Wars 1.
Let's roll. It is decided.
The difference between Advance Wars 1 and Advance Wars 1 through Reboot Camp is being able to select your COs in the final battle. It was not a thing in the original games. That was really dependent on which missions you were playing and whatnot.
No!
He sounds like a grade A jerk.
Well now.
Yes! So good.
Let's move out. Alright, now to remember how I used to play this. It's been many, many years. You generally want to check where you can get hit. You want to check. And then actually remember which spaces you can step on. And this is me just holding on to B, so you can see the range.
We can't afford to lose this time.
How's it going, Fuzzy? Playing through a lot of Advance Wars. I don't know if that's a game you played back in the day, but great game. Now that we have all the attorneys in the room.
Precious daughter Sonia. I
So the nice thing about the remake is you actually get to select which players you play as, which is useful. Yeah, this was a great game. #1 ranked, #1 critically rated Game Boy Advance game. And the nice thing about the remake is you get 1 and 2 in one go. It's a turn-based game, so a lot of it is just staying out of trouble, not getting your units killed early. Actually gonna be interesting because the planes are gonna hit first by the enemy. This is a 3 versus 1 final battle mission. Okay. I last played this probably 13 years ago. You call this Twitch chat room door? Yeah, exactly. So I picked commanding officers that are going to be really effective with tanks, artillery, well, not artillery, tanks, anti-air, that sort of thing. This CO that we're going to be going up against is the most difficult, the best CO. Like, you can't even play as the CO because he's so strong.
Those fools.
Yeah, this game came out as a remastered game on the Switch only a week ago. It came out last Friday. On Fuzz, I didn't respond earlier, but I'd be down to play Grand Prix match with you sometime this weekend if you'd want. Robert's Rules of Order. Yeah, the purpley kind of gray kind of color is interesting for the... Alright, let me see how I want to take this. I'm definitely going to be... Oh wait, I'm starting with red first, obviously. Missiles attack from range, so I took one of them out. This is going to be really challenging with all those tanks, anti-air, battle copters. That's going to be a very difficult fight. Andy's going to get wiped out regardless on this turn, so on this next turn, so it's a matter of how bad it's going to go. If Andy loses, the whole mission is a loss. And Andy is the commanding officer I'm having in the middle here. So I'm looking at it, fighter planes. The only thing these fighter planes can take out are really my battle copters, but it's probably still a useful thing to take them out regardless. I'm gonna damage it. There ended up being quite a number of games that came out. There were 4 games that came out of Game Boy Advance and DS back in the day in this series. No Jags in this game. Sorry, you're not quite represented in this. It's really... I think it's really neat that you're a Jag. I've got to say, during my 1L year, we had kind of one of those career fairs. And honestly, what the Air Force was selling, I mean, in terms of the experience, sounded kind of amazing. Just didn't really want to, like, go anywhere. This copter's gonna... Do I want to save this copter? I may want to... You think about this. Let me just attack. I'm gonna lose a bunch of units. This is definitely one of those missions. Definitely a mission where you're gonna lose tons of units. No, I believe that. I believe that. I'd be surprised if it wasn't that bureaucratic. So, big thing about this kind of mission is I am about to get wrecked. I need to figure out how to play it. If I'm remembering the turn correctly, this is not going to go well. You know, one of those things that's always been kind of funny to me is, you know, there are all these legal shows, people being fake attorneys, all that, but really they're investigators, right? Not really, attorneys. I must admit I kind of lost my train of thought there. In terms of legal games, I should say, not legal shows. And even though in legal shows, it's all about, some trial attorney who's doing something, winning this crazy case and whatnot. There's not really a game that has that feel to it. So the commanding officer here has the ability to just... This commanding officer power is really strong, so I'm trying to figure out how to maneuver it, knowing that it's gonna come. I don't have a good solution to what is about to happen. It's been a little while since I've played it, so... Fake jury duty? No, I haven't heard of it. This is the strongest commanding Commanding officer power. Oh no. So your enemy general just sends a meteor at you, essentially, and just like destroys everything. It's the strongest power in Advance Wars. There's no stronger power than this Sturm. This particular commanding officer in this particular mission. There's nothing like that. So it was a matter of which commanding officer was going to get wrecked. I chose Kanbei by a little bit, but close call regardless.
There's no way I'm losing to Sturm! Hyper repair!
The problem is I'm using that CO power at a time when Sturm just used his, so he's going to still be pretty strong. The strategy element here is what do you want to destroy first, because they have so many potential targets because there are just so many units. At this point, I probably want more anti-air with all the planes flying around. They're weakened, but I think I still need a few more. So Max didn't get hurt here in terms of the meteor, which means I get to bring these units out, which is going to be nice. That first meteor strike is such a big deal on this particular mission. If you have Sturm hit you in a spot, and it just like wipes out, say, like Max's army completely, or Kanbei's army completely, or Andy, you're just... But basically the gist of it is you separate out the units like this so they don't all get hit by the same meteor. They're still building bombers and stuff. So with Sturm's bombers, I am going to want to have more anti-air. And as you can see, Kanbei damaged quite a few units here. I still have a recon here. I forgot about that one. Let's see, they've got 2 bombers, 2 anti-air, medium tank, there's 2 more up here, bunch of infantry. Probably build another anti-air. I don't have money yet. Con-based troops are a little more expensive, but more powerful at the same time. Storm's not going to get Meteor twice. But he's going to use his bombers to attack in a moment here. This is one of those scenarios where you expect to lose a lot of units. That said, I mean, scoring in this game is based on you not losing all your units. So that is still something you want to try to avoid. Maximum number of points you can get on a mission is 300 in the reboot version of the game, which actually is a little different than what it used to be, because the original gotta figure out how to... I don't think I even attack this bomber, which is a problem. I don't think of anything I can hit it with. Oh well. But then Advance Wars 2 and future games ended up moving it down to 300 points rather than 999 for total scoring. And this game ended up making it 300 instead of 999. So the goal here is to get 300. You get 100 points per category for scoring. So you get 100 for power, which is you basically doing a lot of damage in a single turn to a lot of units and destroying a lot of units as a percentage. Speed is just a matter of beating it in as few turns as possible. And then the last thing is technique, which is basically if you lose over a certain number of units, you start losing points. This is actually going to be interesting because I want to actually get a spot like right here and hit the bomber, which I can do from that direction, but I think I need to wipe some things out. That would allow me to continue to actually use units that I'm still advancing. Which I may have actually screwed up, unless I actually beat this infantry. Okay, I did get it. I chose Max and Kanbei because that's really the best combination you can get on this level. You should not really be able to choose. It would be based on the levels that you fought through, and so there'd be like a certain benefit to playing the levels a certain way so you get a certain CO. like max on the side, because you can get like grit on the side, and grit is not really ideal because grit has bunch of like artillery and rockets, and you can see on this side that would be a little harder to advance with, because grit is really a more defensive CO. You can also use Drake, Eagle on the right side. I think Sonja is also a possibility. Kind of run into similar issues though. The similar issue being you're trying to advance, and you have having a bunch of tanks is just really useful for this level, and you're kind of seeing that right now. Grit and Sammy, yeah, exactly. Grit and Sammy's a pretty bad combo for this mission. Doesn't mean you can't beat it. I mean, it's definitely, you can win with any combo, but if you've got the option, it's better to not use that combo. Okay, I got a bunch of these anti-airs, but they're not close. They're not close to being in range to do anything, which is not ideal. I'm just gonna combine these and get some money back. This medium tank might get beaten by the bomber, but we'll see. This recon really can't do anything at all right now, but leave it there. And then I may want to make another anti-air. Let's see. How many? Because I do have some medium tanks out on the west side, and they're going to be able to. Max's army is going to be pretty decent. Uh-oh. Here's Storm's next attack. It's probably gonna hit Max. That's the problem. Yep, there we go. It's hitting Max. Best CO power in all of Advance Wars. So I'm losing a bunch of units. I don't remember how many units you're allowed to lose, but you're certainly allowed to lose like quite a few on this one. For obvious reasons. I mean, Sturm just knocks you, he just KOs you like that. Alright, let's see. We've got a few medium tanks. Bunch of infantry, which are not, you know, the hardest to beat, but then you've got some rockets back here if you need to get that far back. Game is kind of all about matchups. So, for example, Hansu mentioned worst team Grit and Sammy. Grit and Sammy are two of the best COs you can get in the game. But for this mission, definitely not the combo you'd be looking for. Alright, gonna get some infantry up. Mechs would not necessarily be a bad idea for me here either. I will probably build... Andy's first medium tank. Of course, Max has lost like every unit at this point. But... So the question is whether or not Max Power is even going to be an effective CO power at this point. Maybe not as much. I think I may have to regroup before really using it. Probably grab this base before I build a medium tank. At least I can take out the bomber on this turn. Alright, Kanbei's turn. I'm gonna keep moving units up, and I'm eventually gonna grab the airport and the base. Start capturing some of those. Move infantry up. Got another anti-air, which eventually will be useful when I get destroyed by Kanbei's forces again. Now, the nice thing is Kanbei's forces have finally arrived to the battlefield. It's kind of been taking a long time to get there, but they are there now. Now it's a matter of how to use them. Move my faraway units up first. But I think at this point I can push Sturm back across the river, which is going to be a useful thing to be able to do. So Max's forces got wiped out, but I still have some Kanbei medium tanks that have finally arrived. And we're heading kind of in range of the HQ. Storm just used a meteor, so that's another one's not going to happen right away. So at this point, I'm doing, for the most part, fairly well. I mean, it could be worse. Helps to have the Max Conde combo. And these units are a little bit further back, but can still do a little bit of damage. We can take out this battle copter, for example. Finally starting to take these cities. See Gumbius jump on the Rocket League. Even Mr. Pitt have been playing. They may even be doing that. Alright, Max's turn. Max is pretty weakened though, because Max got kind of clobbered. But I do have these two units. I could still use Max Force. Right. Or I could wait until I got an anti. I'm just gonna go ahead and use it here.
Roll, tanks, roll. Max Force.
Max Force should give me an extra. Hey, no problem. Thanks for watching. Let's play soon, Fuzz. I know it's like 11 o'clock where you are. Alright, mostly took a rocket out, and those rockets are always a problem. Finally took all these cities. The Max is going to be able to build units from up here, which is going to be potentially a useful thing. Anti-air is probably not even going to get to the battlefield until it's over, so until the war's over here. Always try to keep building units because of the technique points. Always worthwhile to keep building things, even if you don't think it's going to be used in the fight. Just gives you extra points if your technique points are a little lower. So that's why I always start with building units and advancing infantry, even though it looks like it's not doing anything. It's doing something for, one, money if you start running into trouble and you need that. Alternatively, those technique points, because it's a percentage at the end of the day. Alright, now to advance. Kanbei's kind of in a good spot right now, so it's a matter of how I advance. And also knowing Sturm might get off one more meteor strike on me before all of this is over definitely adds to the difficulty, I guess. You have a bomber there, and that's gonna be real annoying. So, in a pretty good commanding position right now against Sturm. I'm basically at the headquarters, which is not bad considering what turn are we on right now. We're on day 6. So that's a pretty fast, I mean, I'm gonna get my speed rating for the most part. Although, Sturm has a meteor strike. I know, he does not have one right now. He's a little short of the CO power, which is good, as it's gonna allow me to do more damage on this next turn. Go for the KO. Now let's see if I can win in 7. Probably not in 7.
Time for a tune-up. Hyper repair.
My own units are blocking me from attacking. Too many units. Too many units. I've played this mission quite a few times, I think, over the years. Several times, probably. That said, that was also like 13 plus years ago. And I think most attempts were like 20 plus years ago at this point. So it is nice to know that I'm still capable of playing through this at a pretty high level, I suppose. I don't know if I got a 300 or not. I have lost a bunch of units. So that's really the key of whether or not I will get that. I think power-wise, I think I got probably all 100 points. I probably got all 100 points on speed at this point, even though I haven't won yet. I'm feeling pretty good about that how that's gonna go. Day 7, and we're in a good spot here. Pretty good spot. Doing a lot of damage. These are so weakened, it's not even really even worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and build a medium tank. And Kanbei is going to be the one who's really going to do a lot of damage, but also is probably going to get hit by Sturm next turn, so... The other thing is when you're advancing on enemies, notice how I put in anti-aircraft on top of the airport that they have. The good thing about doing something like that is you're blocking them from even building units unless they take out your unit, which is a really effective way to block production of units by the other side. See, I've cleared out a base. What I can do is do this, and I'll put a unit on top of the base. They can't build anything on that base now. Unless they take out your unit, which in this situation looks very unlikely, to say the least. I think Sturm's about to attack with a meteor strike, but Sturm also has very little left to even use as a weapon. Again, building more units. Not really sure why I'm moving them necessarily. I mean, I really just need to build more units. It's going to help me with that technique, and hopefully I will get pretty close to 300. I don't think I'm going to get all 300 points here. And here we go. Sturm's gonna put the meteor strike down. Probably it's gonna be on Kanbei, right up top there. Yep, Kanbei's units are all the way down to nothing. But there's not much of Sturm's units to begin with, so... At this point, infantry probably not even worth building at this point, or moving at this point. Something to build for purposes of technique points. I'm not even going to bother moving the rest now. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this stuff to attack. This one is too far, but I can use the other anti-air to wipe out that plane. Well, I guess, let's see. And probably at least move up the infantry that are a little closer to the river. Same thing with Max. Really not going to do anything with the infantry back here, but going to keep building. In the meantime, I'm going to move these ones. I'll probably move these ones up a little bit. At least the ones up here. I do have an APC left. I can transport some of them up. Again, I'm kind of blocking a lot of my own units. That infantry may actually stay alive because I kind of blocked myself. Which would be a shame if that was what was stopping me from winning on this turn, but... So that's Max's turn. Build a anti-air, I suppose. Kanbei's turn is actually going to be the interesting one to see whether or not I can win on turn 8. I do have Kanbei's morale boost. I'm going to go ahead and use it.
I will fight to my last breath for Sonya!
Okay, so the pronunciation is Sonya, I guess. That's good to know. Never really paid attention to that. Here we go. Let me see if I can win on day 8 here. Oh, I should build more Kanbei units first. More infantry. Alright, I think I actually have a pretty good shot because of this. I think I got it.
No! So close! I was so close! I underestimated the strength of these worms. I had the superior army, the superior strategies. I've been beaten. My dream of world conquest. I vow to rebuild and return. When that time comes, I will challenge you worms yet again. And I will not lose.
That's it! Now's our chance! By my calculation, you've left enough of an opening that reinforcements should arrive in about...
You are trying my patience.
Sonya!
Hey, that's Sturm!
A hologram? I guess he got away.
Yeah!
That's a brand new scene. That was never part of the original games.
Sonia, daughter.
Yes.
Oh, Sonia, if anything had happened to you.
Now, Father, stop. Don't you dare start crying, or else I'll start. Oh. Your father's a bit silly at times, but he'll always be there for you when you need him.
You look just like her, Sonia. You really do.
Onward!
Max score 300 points, S rank. Not bad for a final battle.